G'day guys, welcome back to another Roughed Up episode, and today we spoke to Bunger Johnson.
Yeah, absolute legend. He is a boxing legend. He's trained many people. He's a professional wormer. Redcliffe legend. Lots of people in Redcliffe know him.
Yep.
He did some horse training in his day.
Yep.
What else did he do?
He's just an all-around thrill seeker. Did some things with sharks.
Yeah. Did some poetry. Great poetry.
He's a comedian. Hung around with some very funny people.
Like Chopper Reed, Roger Robertson.
And you guys are going to have some great stories throughout the episode.
Thank you, Bunger, for letting us in your house, and enjoy the episode.
You guys have a good one.
Welcome back to the Roughed Up podcast.
G'day guys, welcome back to another Roughed Up episode. And today we've got Bunger Johnson here, an absolute Redcliffe legend, known around here for his fighting, comedy, poetry. And knowing some very funny people as well.
And the gym.
And the gym, of course.
Yeah. No, going good, boys. I'm going good. And I'm still doing a bit in the gym. Mark, Mel and I, look after the young blokes as best we can because boxing, not so much financially, but boxing was good to me in life.
Exactly.
And it gave me confidence, way past my years.
Yeah.
So we'll get into who you are, and you've got a lot of stories. We were chatting to you a bit before. You got many stories.
Million stories in the naked city. I know 3/4 of them. You know what happened the other quarter? They happened to me.
Yeah. So we'll get into it first. How would you describe yourself? Who are you? How would you describe it to other people?
I'm an everyday bloke, just like anybody else, and I was lucky enough to fall into boxing at a young age, and I was lucky enough to have a great trainer train me. And his record stood alone, mates. 72 state champions, 27 Australian champions, 5 Oceania Games. I think I was the first to win a state title for him. And mate, he was a great mentor to all of us, me and Mark and Mel and hundreds of others. Don't worry about that. He was one of them fight trainers. Everything had to be right. Your feet had to be right. Your hands had to be up. It's just how he was, and he wouldn't put you in until you're ready to fight. His boxing training record was enormous. Yeah, so. That helped me right through life till the stage when I was 20. I was a worm digger back in them days, and I had a heap of blokes working for me, and you can't do that unless you've got the confidence to do it. So it had a big turn in my life learning boxing, and all kids should learn. Yeah. It's not there for them to go out and bash somebody. It's there for them to have self-confidence to get up and speak. And if they get pushed in the corner and they got to fight, they can do it. But mostly to give them confidence in their mind to say what they think, and kids need it.
Yeah.
And the physical part of it too. It's very physical, Yeah.
When did you start in your boxing career? What time did you start out boxing?
Yeah, I was 12, but I don't think I had a fight till I was 13. And I was about 6 stone 7. Yeah. And I had my last fight, I was 9 stone 6, I think, and at Festival Hall, and I think that's about 59 kilos. Yeah. I'm way overweight now.
59 kilos is still a bit tiny for me.
Yeah, but mate, I was just short of being the best, but I was lucky enough to, and Barry guided me, I was lucky enough to spar all those real good blokes, like Hector Thompson, Wayne Day. Another bloke that had a big influence on me was Jeff White. He was a great fighter, so I sparred him when I was a kid, and he was the one who explained to me about road work, I used to do road work, but, mate, he'd run 12 mile a day, and he said, Bunger, you won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Unless you've got that road work under you, and it'll keep your weight down. And until in the end, I used to run 8 mile every night before I went to bed. Yeah. And for the first 5, I'd average a 5.5 minute mile. Yeah. And mate, that's hiking along. That's good. Yeah. And my weight stayed down, and I was, there was no fat on me. Yeah. And then I eventually got the chance to spar Lionel Rose, it was an exhibition spar, and they were paying me $10 a round, we're talking, a long time ago. I was 17 in about a week, so we're talking a long time ago.
Yeah.
So, but it was great experience. Mate, he broke my nose and knocked double tooth out, but I didn't look like going down. While he was having a feed, I was having a pick.
That's one thing with the boxing. Even when we're talking to Mel, is the discipline that goes into it is insane. Like running that much, like all the time.
You got to.
Yeah. How do you keep up that like mental like capability to go, okay, I'm doing it?
A lot of people, they might start and go for a month and think I'm not any fitter, but it takes months and months and months to get fit at that. And you just got to. And when you start fighting, you knock up in the last round. Let me tell you, you'll soon say, "Shit, I should have done some more road work." There's no longer a minute than a minute in the boxing ring when you're tired. And it's tough going, and you're out there on your own. No one's going to help you.
So when you said you were 12 or 13, when what made you go into boxing? Did you just want to do it, or?
I got into a fight at school and didn't do so good, and I come home and the old man had a mate, and he knew a little bit about it. He used to follow Barry Parnell, and he got me to a certain stage, and he heard Barry was living on the peninsula, so then that's when it all come together, and then we put the gym up at home. The old man had an old birdcage there, and we turned into a shed, and it went from there. So that's where they all come from. There was some willing kids and older blokes there. So I had a lot more fights in that gym down there than I had anywhere. They brought them from somewhere else. They were in trouble. I had a lot of fights there. Yeah.
Well, everyone like Mel and Mark talk about Barry, and like Barry, he's obviously got a big legacy. What did Barry mean to you? Like, what did he leave for you?
Well, not only did he teach me to fight, and one day, I'd won 5 out of 11, and the old man said to Barry, "What's wrong?" He said, "His footwork." I never had a fight for nearly a year. Every day, he'd have me in the gym with my feet, so they were perfectly positioned. I never lost any more. I'm very good, very slippery at getting out of the road.
How did you grow up, Mark?
Yeah, Scarborough.
And then went to school. How was your childhood? Was it good?
Yeah. Well, I had a great childhood.
Yeah.
I was fishing and digging worms, and I had my own little boat and had my own nets. I'd row out the reef fishing, and then Vic and I were shark fishing later on. And like Vic, that's where I met Vic Hislop in the gym when I was about 14.
Oh, wow.
He come in to learn to fight. So that's where all that come from. That's him and me up there with a tiger shark.
We'll get a photo of that a bit bigger on the screen, hopefully. So we'll go into, like, obviously your boxing. You trained up when you were younger because you had a fight in school. From there, you went on to do it a bit more. How many fights did you actually do?
The Emmett pros was about 45. I lost 7, but a lot of them I didn't lose, I'll tell you. But anyway, but that's how it is, and anyone that's had fights can tell you that. You know. But I used to love go to fights, and you go 10 times and no one to fight you, But I'd be G'd up. Once I had 8 or 9, it was like sitting down to have a feed. I didn't care who it was. Let's go. So, but anyway, it was a good part of my life, So
what was your favourite fight? Do you reckon? Do you have a favourite or?
Oh. Not really. No, they're all good, So I had how many knockouts? I had a fair few, I suppose, but I forget now. It's a long time ago now.
That's one thing, right? I've never got into a proper physical fight. I cannot imagine the feeling of knocking out someone.
No, I can't. No. We are very much talk down someone. I do not want to get in a fight. My face is already banged up enough.
That would be crazy. But obviously now you train a lot of young people. With
Yeah. Well, we do it for nothing.
Yeah.
Like we charge them $5 to cover the insurance. You've got to carry insurance. If someone gets hurt for some reason, but we all do our bit. Mark's become a good boxing trainer, and he's got very good at holding the pads. And what Barry showed me, I've showed him. So it just continues on like that.
Yeah. Why did you keep on training people? Why didn't you just go, yeah, I'm done now? Like.
No, well, I sort of took over from Barry a bit. Yeah. He was getting older, and we were doing it together for a long time, as he taught me, But it's just one of them things that you like to see kids do well, It helped me, so you've got to pass it on.
Yeah.
You've got to pass it on. And it's not for them to go and bash anyone or do anything. It's more self-confidence, Yeah. Self-confidence is a great thing,
Yeah.
And teach them to have a few people skills. You can be the smartest person in the world, no people skills.
Yeah.
You won't go anywhere.
There's a lot of people like that are really, really smart, but just really not socially.
No, and can't make a conversation. So, they've always got a story to tell after they've been down there with me.
Before boxing, were you already had those people skills? Was it something that was brought on, hanging around Barry and getting self-confidence?
No, I would say by the time I was 20, I was starting to gather them up on my own. And like these days, for a long time, there was a stand-up comic. I went to Brindley Sea restaurant one night, and there was a bloke on there called Lucky Grills, and he was telling jokes and one thing and another. And I'm thinking, shit, I wonder who got to get paid for that. I could do that. Yeah. So I never seen them. As anyway, cut a long story short, within a year, they'll ring me up and ask me to go somewhere and pay me for it. So, and it went from there,
Would your mates say that you were funny? You just had a vision in your head on how to say something, and you were just really...
Anyone that can tell a joke...
Yeah.
They've got a knack. One bloke will tell it, and it won't be funny. Another bloke will make it funny.
Exactly, it's just about timing, isn't it?
It's about timing and everything, So, and then Rube McCall was always a hero of mine, And I love Green and Gold Malaria. It should be the bloody national anthem, Oh, he's the best poet there ever was, He's the best MC. Oh, He's terrific, But so I'd done a lot of his poems, I don't know how many, but there was a lot of them, So, but anyway, no, but the boxing certainly helped me there.
Oh yeah.
I've been running gangs of blokes for years, and then to stand up in front of the crowd, it's not a problem,
Yeah, and obviously you do the comedy thing. You were telling us before when you went on tour with like Chopper and stuff. You used to, before his shows, come out and do a little comedy gig before. Yeah. And there's got to be a lot of confidence in that, and a lot of social skills.
Yeah, well, and you often get smart asses in the crowd. You got them very quick and put them in their spot. Don't you worry about that. They'll be sorry to open their mouth. Yeah.
Well, even because the boxing gym's closed at the moment.
Yeah, but we'll have a go on again soon.
Well, we came in and saw your big mirror outside, so you're still training people. Yeah. Even though the gym's.
I've done a couple here this morning. Yeah. I run the car out of the garage and spar them out in the concrete. I give them all 3 rounds and give them a free hit for a while. So, but they'll both 2. There's about 4, but 2 will make it through and fight. Yeah. So they're waiting for this to happen. I said, well, you're young, you got it. One's only young blokes, 21 or 22 or something.
Yeah.
So
who are some of the people that people might know of that you've trained? Like,
in the Embers, like. A lot of them only been eminence, they wouldn't, but they'd know Trevor Gilmour. Yeah, and Trevor and I were mates. I lived at Wavell Heights, which is not far from where Trevor lives, and we got together, and he got me the job at the Ipswich Jets, and went from there. So we become good mates. Me and him done a fair few gigs together too. He's he's terrific.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get, and he doesn't brush anyone. Anyone that wants a photo or shake his hand, he's only too free to do it, He's a knock around. exactly what you see. You know, he's
Gilly seems like a really nice bloke.
Yeah, mate, and he fought that Dean Rice at the entertainment centre.
Yeah.
And we had Tosser Turner. Tosser was with us all the time. And he come for all the sparring. We'll pick him up. We used to go and spar down at Scarborough at my place. And I done all the sparring with him. We used to pick Tosser up on the way through. And he wanted to be in the corner with us, which was all good. And we're walking out and we seen Dean Rice, like Gilly's only about 82 kilos. Dean Rice was about 100. And Tosser looked up, look at the size of this bastard. Gilly said, thanks, Toss.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was all good. He won, you know, and he showed a bit of talent, you know, so he went pretty good. He had a few other fights too, footballs I just forget now, but it's a fair while back, yeah.
What with even like your boxing career and training people, what do you think you've in yourself have accomplished from that? What do you feel like you've accomplished something out of that?
Oh, certainly out of the kids we've trained.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to see them go on and do something, you know.
Yeah.
But it's given myself a lot of confidence, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's plenty of good sides of it, you know.
Yeah. Well, you were saying even before, like, people come up to you now and, like, if you're at a bar, they buy you a drink.
Every now and then one will come up and you don't remember them when they're 12 or 14 and let me buy you a drink, Bunger. Otherwise, what is that? You can't remember them. They say, well, you help me.
Yeah.
So that's enough payment in its own, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's and it happens, you know. Not every 6 months it'll happen. You can bet, you know. So that's a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
So no, it's been good for me, you know.
Yeah. Well, with the boxing gym as well, like, because would you say, like, well, you, Mark, and Mel have got this gym going. How long do you reckon this? Because obviously it started with Barry.
Yeah.
It's gone down to like you three guys. How many generations do you reckon it'll go through?
I don't know, but Mark's younger than Saul, so that was it's all about, you know. But he's good enough now to carry it on, you know.
Yeah.
So, but one of the we got a young kid there. We got a good kid there in the gym, you know.
Yeah.
And he's just busting for us to get back at it. But mate, he could go all the way. We'll just see what happens, you know.
Yeah.
It must be like make you guys so proud to see someone.
You know, and he's a tough little bugger, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's keen again now, you know. So if the drink and the Sheilas don't get him, he'll be all right.
Yeah, well, that's another thing Mel said in his podcast was it's really sad to see sometimes you work so hard with these people and then they just drop off.
Yeah.
And that would be...
Yeah, it happened to Barry many times too, you know. Yeah. And... but, you know, you just go along, do your best, you know.
Yeah.
So you can't do much more. But it's been a good ride so far.
Yeah.
It's not over.
Not over. Well, you got Mark into boxing when he was real young. What was the story behind that?
Oh, he done the round pad and that at home when he was only a kid, you know. But he lived on the other side of town.
Yeah.
So when he come to live here, he like years later, he come to me one day and said, I want to be a boxing trainer. So that was be a while back now. I don't know, it's got to be nearly 20 years as a Mark, yeah. So he's come a long way.
Yeah.
He's come a long way.
That would be a bit of as well an accomplishment for you to get someone in your family to join with you.
Yeah, exactly. It's been great to have him along, you know. Yeah. So, but he's right. He don't need me now, but I'll do a bit, you know. So, always there to give a bit of advice and.
It'll be awesome once the gym opens back up now because like there's all this talk of it. Like even I would like to go see.
I want to go.
We'll do all that. Don't worry about that.
And when it
you'll
opens,
walk away with confidence. One thing I'm very big at, putting confidence into someone.
Yeah. As well, it would be good once it opens. We'll come down and I reckon we should give it a film around.
That's it.
If you guys want to,
yeah,
it'll be cool.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We'll move on. Sorry, I got a bit off. So, how do you think, like, all these people you've trained and Mark and Mel, how do you think they see you? What do you think? Like, do they see you as like a leader or?
Oh, I just see me as a boxing trainer that helped them. That's about it. But you know, like most of them are all good kids. You know, they're good kids. You know, and if they got a bit of shit in, well, we'll shake it out of them. In a roundabout way. You know, not being hard on them, but just be brutally. Just talk to them. Say, you know that's not done here.
Yeah.
You know, you walk in, you shake hands. You're not here to be a smart ass or, you know, if you want to learn to fight, we're going to teach you. But we don't want any of the shit coming out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It would be hard. I don't know. It would be hard to separate because boxing. You see, some people see it as like a violent sport, but it would be hard to separate those people that come there to be like violent to the respect aspect.
Yeah.
How hard is it to translate that?
Oh, mate, they come around.
Yeah.
They come around. There's not too many that are too violent with Big Mel.
Oh yeah. That's it. I wouldn't want to be.
Because it's just as emotional, I reckon, boxing as physical, as getting the anger and
you've got to be a very, very fit athlete.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's and when you know, even when I stopped fighting, I still run every night. You know, still run every night. Took my dog for a run. Still run the 8 miles. You know, all the time. You know.
Yeah.
So it was just. It takes a long time to get fit at it. When you get fit at it, it's like a drug. Even on your day off, you think, "Oh, I'm feeling that," you know, and you can eat what you like when you do that. It doesn't matter how much you eat. You won't get fat. You know, so you can easily see I haven't been doing too much lately.
We'll go on to, obviously you've done heaps in boxing, but you've done a lot of other things in your life, like your worming business.
Oh yeah, well it was something that I grew up doing.
Yeah.
You know, and I had a system going about it, and I just employed these blokes, and mate, I worked hard at that. You know, and I'd done all the deliveries, all the pays. You know, and first out the boat in the morning, winter time, water up to your knees, freezing your butt out.
Yeah.
Walking, you know, half a mile through the slush and mud to get to where we're going, mate. But look, I grew into it.
Yeah.
The boys that all follow, you know, it's just something. You look back now and thinking how to do it. It was no trouble when you're young and fit, you know.
Yeah.
So have a bit of trouble now, but.
How long a day would you be digging worms?
Oh well, you weren't that long.
Yeah.
Like sunny low tide for a certain amount of time, and then the tide gets you. But getting there and getting home, but you were actually only working for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do it for 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then lots of times we'd have to back up and come back for night time.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've got to travel down, travel back, and boats in and out. And the last 15 years of my time on the water, I drove a hovercraft to work.
Yeah.
And I could fit about 3 or 4 on it. It was a great machine, but high maintenance.
Yeah.
But it made things easier to get where we're going. And you know, it's not an easy thing. Sounds like anyone can come and do it. It's not.
I imagine it would be.
There's a knack in it. It's like anything. It's a trade. You start out on weekends and do a day here, day there, and after a year of that, you can have a go at being full time, but you'll be a long way behind the guns. You know, they'll trouble you.
I imagine you got all your secret worm spots.
Oh, they're not. You know, you're only allowed to dig in certain places these days, but you have got to put your weed back on top and leave it there. You found it pretty well, you know. So, which I always did. Yeah. And I made all the rules on it. And then when they come to mark it all out and sent the DPI blokes out, I drove them around the hovercraft.
Yeah, wow.
So everything, you know, they were good, you know. So there was not a problem there.
Well, it seems like you have a big, even in your childhood, a big connection to the water. Like, it seems like you're always, like, in your worming, worked around the water, fishing. Yeah,
well, me and Vic's, you know, even now I just come back from 3 weeks up from at Halifax, actually. We'd been up there for 3 weeks, and then we spent a week in from Georgetown pig hunting and barra fishing there too. So, we caught a lot of fish in both places, but we've been doing that forever.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how many trips we've had up there, but caught some big fish and pigs and all sorts of bloody shit, you know. So, but he won't throw the towel and he keeps going. Yeah.
Well, I did a bit of research on Vic because there was a couple of stories that came up with you and him online, and he is insane. Like, the amount of stuff that he got up to is crazy. And do you have any stories with Vic going out, catching stuff?
Oh, plenty, but plenty on the boat ramp. We got in an argument too, but I better not go into all that. I can tell you terrible stories, but mostly people would come from everywhere to watch it.
Yeah,
you come to the boat ramp and you're not allowed to do it these days. Don't worry about them eating you every time you look around, but you're not allowed to kill one over a metre, you know. So it's they eat everything on the way through. They're at the end of the food chain. Yeah. But you can't touch them.
Yeah.
But it's it's just the way the rules are. They make the rules, and so we hadn't caught a shark in years. You know?
Yeah. That would be. I couldn't imagine pulling up a massive shark.
No, but you know, when you knock them up a bit and that, but but it's not everybody's go, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it's dangerous, you know. One of the most dangerous things I've ever done was in the Cape York running wild bulls. Yeah. Oh, mate, she'd get the blood pumping. Through short wheelbase Land Cruiser, running over and running the bull bar across our arse and rolling them over and driving the car up on them. And oh, mate,
you got all this behind you. That is all the boars that you've caught with Mal and
I got them all somewhere. You know, when I was young, don't worry now, but it was a bloody great fun, you know.
Yeah.
Like the kids of the day, not too many of them see that, and they wouldn't know what it's, you know. They worn their shoes out in the carpet, and they wouldn't know shit from pineapple jam. You know, if they had to survive out, they had to go and kill something to eat. They wouldn't have a clue what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you got to be able to do all that shit.
Yeah.
I used to kill my own meat, have my own butcher saw and everything. Yeah.
It's crazy how the way of life has changed, and like a lot of people have been desensitized to that kind of stuff as well.
Oh yeah.
I feel like
I don't know when they see a truckload of chooks go by, I don't know where they think they're going.
Yeah. Well, you see like all the trucks going and people are like upset that they're going everywhere, and all the vegan protests.
And then they go get KFC. So
Oh well, you know, it's they've proven everything's got feelings. Like the day will come up, you won't be allowed to pull a fish in.
Yeah, well, even a plant. They were going on about plants.
Well, that's what's the next thing.
That's it.
They've proven plants have got feelings. One day you won't be able to mow the lawn. Yeah. So, but it's true. That's
exactly.
Well, this is because a lot of people around Redcliffe know you, and I don't know how to describe it, but there's like a kind of like you're a mystery figure around like where we live. And there's a story I've heard of like the tree of knowledge in your backyard.
Yeah, no, they were big days.
Yeah.
Of a Sunday, and you never know who you meet there.
You never know who you meet at the tree at all?
Oh, there can be legends walk in there.
Yeah, really?
Tell you one thing.
Yeah.
There was no shitbags coming. I'll tell them quick, they'd be off. But, no, mate, wow, we had great times there.
Yeah.
And I'd do all the prawns and the whiting, curry crab and garlic prawns. Everyone got a feed, you know. And we'd sit down and have a drink. Oh, it was a good old night. Someone entertaining, you know. Always had someone that could sing or something going on there, yeah. I often got Les Ross, the gallop trainer. He's one of the leading gallop trainers in Brisbane here. And he'd come down and do the karaoke and all that shit. And I had a heap of different singers come and go.
Wow.
You know? Yeah, no, it was a great afternoon. And I was on the corner and, you know, we could make as much noise as we liked. No, it didn't worry anyone, you know. A close neighbour, he'd come in any rate. So it was a good time. It was a good time, yeah.
Wow. So it just sounds like everyone just used to gather around and just have a fun time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, yeah. They just call in, yeah.
Yeah.
They knew it was on, so round they come. Oh, yeah. And when I used to have a barbecue at the end of the year, way back in the old days when I had all the blokes digging worms for me, I'd have about 80 in the backyard.
Wow.
Have a pig on the spit and all the prawns and crabs and they were bloody big days, big days and nights, yeah. So they were.
Was that at your house?
Yeah. There was plenty of room. It was a big block, 1,200 square, you know, and it was standing room only. No, it was good, you know.
Yeah.
And we always have a bit of entertainment. Someone would do something, you know. So it was good. So no, we had a good life. Yeah. And Scarborough's the nicest place in the world.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's you know, it's getting a bit crowded these days.
Yeah.
But as long as you haven't got to move out of Scarborough and you stay, you're great. You know.
Yeah.
Once you get out on that highway, get a bit of traffic. It's not so.
Yeah. Anzac Avenue now is crazy.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Takes you like half an hour to get into Deep Bay.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, it is.
Yeah. As well, you just mentioned there, you used to train some horses as well.
Yeah.
Horses up.
Harness horses, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I had about 40 years of it, but I do that and the digging worms and the training the fighters. Like, you know, it was like a centipede, a skipping competition.
Yeah, how did you have any time?
Oh, but I had a lot of winners, you know. It's now my daughter, she goes all right. She trains a couple and works, and she enjoys going around, you know. So she won a race at Redcliffe there a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what goes into training up a horse? I feel like
mate, there's a lot in it. You know, but anyone can learn it. Like, you know, you want to horse is just a one. If you had told me I'd never have a dog in the yard, I would have called you mad, you know. And bloody the horses come along, the dogs went back and they were gone, you know. Yeah. So, but you know, you just go through and you learn of someone that knows what they're doing, and off you go.
Yeah.
You know, you'll eventually train a winner.
Yeah.
And it's a good thrill. You know, it's a great thrill.
It would be.
Yeah, it's a great thrill. So, no, I had years of that.
You've done absolutely everything.
Yeah, it's terrific. And in '74, when the flood came and washed all the banks away, I took a job on a trawler as a net mender because I was a net fisherman in between all that too. And I'd learned to make nets and mend nets, and I got a job on there. I'd done a stint in the Cape in the banana prawns, and mate, some things happened up there, fish and sharks. And, it was unbelievable stuff, you know.
Something I was meant to mention before, but I didn't think of it, was the gym. How did the gym get affected during COVID? Because that would have been a major kind of like thing for you guys.
Yeah, well, it was a bit slow, wasn't it, Mark? But
we actually had to close it for a long time.
Yeah. You know, I'm all over the place. I never ever got it. You know, so it's you know, it's one of them things. You know, it's come and it's gone now. They're all dying of the flu now. They weren't dying of the flu 5 years ago. It was COVID. So I don't know how they worked that one out.
Yeah. Well, obviously you went on the road with Chopper as well.
Yeah. No, I've done a heap of Chopper and Roger. Roger, the last night when Roger left, they come looking for him. When they come looking for him, they come to the gym.
Yeah. Okay.
We had the gym down Oxley Avenue there, and they come in and said, "Where's Bunger Johnson?" And they pointed him out, and I shook hands with him. He said, "We want to go to your place. We're looking for Roger." I said, "He's gone, but you're welcome to come."
Yeah.
So they took me out in the car and they're driving, and I said, "Mate," I said, "I'll tell you something. Mate, you can take my blood now, get my DNA, go back as far as you like, forward as far as you like." I said, "It'll never come up on the wrong side of the law."
Yeah.
I said, "If you said to me, smoke this joint, I'll give you 20,000, out of principle, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want my kid doing it."
Yeah.
And you know what that bloke said? He was a Sydney copper. one local guy. He told me my whole life, the rest of the way out there. He told me everything I'd done.
Oh, wow.
They must just be able to Google that and just, I've
Everything.
never Googled myself, like, but everything must come up.
Yeah, wow.
He told me everything. And
Yeah.
he went, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy the amount of stuff they must have on everyone.
on every person.
Yeah.
Especially with social media.
Oh, yeah.
The microphone must just pick up stuff on their phone and they just know.
But even back then, there wouldn't have been much social media.
Yeah.
And they still know.
And they still knew everything. So
If you can be talking on the phone and say, I'm going to paint the house, next thing all of a sudden you're getting ads on
exactly.
your phone painting the house.
True. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. How was it? That would have been scary, all those police, like...
well, I knew I'd done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was nothing, it didn't worry me.
Yeah.
It was just, it's just another story in the Bunger Johnson life,
Yeah.
And there's a million of them.
Yeah.
There's a million of them, but, those, they were good days away with Roger,
Yeah.
He was, you can only take people how you find them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, he never done the wrong thing by me, and he was always good company,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was. So, but at any rate, he's not looking too good now.
Yeah.
All right, So, but Chopper, like at least I suppose you can look at it. He made a living out of all that instead of him being on the dole,
Yeah.
So.
What did you think when Mark told you that he was working with Chopper Reed and all that?
Well, as long as he was getting well paid, which he was, it was good for him.
Yeah.
But he stepped in, and saved him one night when a bloke was attacking him with a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took the blow himself. So Chopper was loyal to him after that.
Yeah.
So you got to give Chopper points there, But for the first few years, it was good. I think he was clear of drugs. But when that Novak come along, things changed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was it was a no-no to me.
Yeah.
But did you think you said Roger to you was a really nice bloke, and do you think Chopper was an all right guy?
When he was straight, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was quite good,
Yeah.
And I'd have him at home and cook meals for him and do all that, when. And I could tell stories what went on there. I wouldn't be able to tell them to anybody,
Yeah.
But there was only coming when this shitbag got with him,
Yeah.
See old story, you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas, and shit finds its own level.
Yeah.
So it's look, most of the time it was good. It was only the last little bit, And I enjoyed it. We go away, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You paid a bit of money.
How was the tour? How was touring? Was it good? You said you did stand up and stuff. That would have been good for you?
Oh yeah, no, it was. When you're doing it all the time like that, it just runs off your tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I haven't done any now for all these years and not properly, and I'd be struggling to fill the 40 minutes in,
Yeah.
But it'd come back eventually, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
Well, Eli, you've always said you wanted to do stand
I'd
up.
love to do stand up.
Yeah.
I would love to, but I think it's taking the first step. I'm petrified of it. But doing this, I've got a lot better at just speking to people.
I'm speaking all right now, mate.
Yeah.
Let me give you a few boxing lessons. You'll be speaking.
It would be funny seeing you in the boxing.
I'm always in my head.
There's always different sorts of comedians, whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
There's ones that make up stories about everyday things, and they're bloody clever.
Yeah.
Whereas I'll tell someone might ask me about a horse I had, or about the fights you had, or this or that, and that's all good. But I'm one of them ones just comes out with different sort of jokes, and and then I'll tell a poem, and then I'll go and tell a few more jokes, and it's one runs into the other, and then someone will put up and ask a question, or and then you'll get a smart ass,
That's it.
Well, you were telling us before we started filming it, and you were telling us a joke, and it was a poem, but in comedy.
In
it was really good.
Yeah. So, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
with writing that kind of stuff, how long does that normally take? Like.
I didn't write it.
Oh, really?
I pictured of Rupert. No, but Rupert never wrote that. I forget now.
Yeah.
I forget whose it was. I forget. Yeah. But it's you just got to have the right volume and the tone and put it in, and make it, not so droll,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a good ride. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And I've loved every minute of it. The boxing, the pig hunting, the fishing, the shark fishing, and I was a net fisherman in all between all that, and it's just been a great ride.
Well, how do you think you want to leave your legacy? Like, what do you want people to think of you as? Like, when,
Well, I passed all those boxing skills on, as Barry taught me, and most of the worm diggers out there today, they've been taught by me. Most of them. Some of them don't do it exactly the way I want it, but we won't go into that. But so that'll stay around, until they eventually take the licenses off You wouldn't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
But
what we're heading to in this world, I don't know.
It's crazy the amount of people that you've mentored. You've mentored many of people.
Yeah.
And it's good to see, and that will always go on. And obviously that's come down from Barry to you, into Mel and Mark, and hopefully it just keeps going on.
Yeah, well, I'd be sitting here talking about the Bunger Tree of Knowledge. I'd see me sit there and people pull up and walk in and say, Bunger, you remember me? That would happen, all the time.
Is the Tree of Knowledge still there?
No, it fell over.
Oh, wow.
I had to sell it, but everyone thinks I'm not. I had a lot of concrete around it. It was about 80 years old.
Yeah.
It was a big tree.
Yeah.
I got a photo of it somewhere on my phone. And but everyone knew, all my mates knew. She's on Bunger's home. We'll get down the tree and have a drink and have a listen. And I've had some great singers under there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Who's some of the people that you had at the tree?
Oh.
Mate, I know you can edit it.
Yeah.
Is that everyone from the low people up to police commissioners?
Yeah.
To Roger Rogerson?
Yeah.
To famous boxers? To professional pig hunters?
Everyone.
Bouncers, coppers, everything.
Yeah.
All from all walks of life.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's crazy.
Police commissioner used to have crab sandwiches made by Bunger there.
Yeah. I can tell you.
Well, I've got something to say, because you left school in year 8. Was there a reason for that? Just wanting to make some money?
I was there, but I wasn't there. I just turned up for the mark the roll.
Yeah.
So I never, I went on to grade 10 or something, but I wasn't ever there. I was never out digging worms and net fishing. And I didn't want to be there.
Yeah, because you're going about having the social skills and being street smart.
Street smart, yeah.
You can tell that you how you speak. You're smart, and street smart. You just know how to speak.
I think you call it people skills. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I feel like the street smarts is more important than the actual academic smarts.
I know some. Well, Ryan, I know some very, very smart people that are going to be surgeons and doctors that are very dumb in
everyday life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like even that bloke on that show, The Chase?
Yeah.
He's like the nerd.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he's so smart. But he went on that cooking show. He didn't even know how to boil water. It's like...
Oh, but he's my favourite. He's clever, but geez, he's terrific.
Yeah. Well, we'll wrap up. Anything else? Do you want to add anything, Mark?
No, it's Bunger's Day today.
Bunger's Day?
No.
Do you want to add anything? The State of Origin poem.
Well, one of Rupert's.
Yeah.
One of Rupert's. I got others that aren't. Do you want one of Rupert's or?
Up to you. You choose. whatever you think you want to do.
Right. It began in 1980 with the outbreak of a war, when Artie let the tunnel to a god almighty roar. A roar to rock the rafters, a roar to lit the fuse, to the blood and bone of Queensland, to annihilate the blues. It was go you bloody Queenslander, who flowed that magic pass and grabbed that dirty cockroach and kick his cocky ass. It grew with every battle, it was sewn on every sweater. It made the players wearing it feel bigger, badder, better. Though the blues on paper often more the slicker, the strongest piece of paper couldn't beat an honest ticker. So beware of the wounded Queenslander as he battled for the crown, for when Morona's wrapped around him, he will never let you down. It's for unbending courage, it's mateship through and through. It's never doubt a Queenslander, never miss your shout, never ride his colour off and never back him out. And don't be fooled to think that he has given up the ghost, because that is when he'll grow 10 foot and make you hurt the most. And when the game is won, there's something else that's fairly clear. Don't forget how sweet it is to taste that Queensland beer.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Is that one of Rupert's?
Yeah.
Rupert is.
Oh,
He's insane.
Even, like we said before, just sitting down with him, he was. You can just tell he's just so.
He's intimidating with his knowledge.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
oh, and his old man was the nicest bloke.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. He went from us to, he used to get under the Bunger tree of knowledge. His dad. And, bloody Kerry, lovely fella.
Yeah. Hey, well, we'll wrap it up, eh?
We'll wrap it up.
Well, thank you for coming on, sharing some of your stories.
So much fun.
Be good.
Thank you.
I don't know whether it's any good to you, but
that's awesome.
Whether you've got to cut it up or what you got to do. You know?
We'll sort it out. It was good.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for watching. See ya.